Colors aren't just something we see, they are something we feel. Every color carries energy, emotion, and meaning without saying a single word. A small shift in color can change how we think, how we decide, and even how we behave. Color is not decoration, it's actually a strategy. It can calm the mind, create trust, trigger hunger, excite actions, or instantly grab attention. This is the power of colors. They actually communicate faster than language and influence us before we even realize it. Hi everyone, my name is Ashika, and today we are actually going to cover the most amazing topic, and that is the power of colors. And today we are actually going to see how it actually affects the human psychology and how we can actually make sure that we choose right colors for our work, for design, and for everything. So without delaying, let's get into the video. So I think first let's talk about the power of colors and color psychology, right? And I think actually, the colors are more than just visuals, and every shade we see has the power to influence how we feel, think, and react. Colors actually quietly shape our moods, it directly connects with our behavior. Colors don't just decorate life. Okay, they communicate it. And there is always a science behind colors and emotions. For example, I want to actually show you guys with an example. Okay, so let me give you one example. This is actually a black and white image of a particular place. Look at this image. What do you feel after looking at this image? Like, do you feel like, wow, I want to visit this place? Do you get this kind of feeling? Because I don't get this kind of feeling by looking at this image. It feels very dull, emotionless, right? Your eyes see the picture, but your mind doesn't connect with it deeply because there is no color in this one. Watch this same image in color. Suddenly it feels alive. Okay, you can feel the warmth, you can feel the vibrance, you can feel the energy, right? I mean, the color turns information into emotions. Like, colors are actually very powerful thing, and they just don't show what objects look like, they show what moments feel like. When I look at this image, my brain tells me I want to visit this place. This place is amazing. There's so much peace. The scenario, the house, everything is so good and so beautiful that people think that I want to visit this place. For example, Switzerland. When you see the pictures of Switzerland, when you see the videos of Switzerland, what do you feel, right? You feel like this is heaven on earth. Why do you feel that? Because of colors. I don't think you will feel that I want to visit this place by looking at the black and white picture of Switzerland. I don't think so, because I wouldn't feel that as well, that I want to visit this place. Because when you add the color and when you don't add the color, there is a lot of differences in emotions, and colors directly affect human psychology and emotions. It's a psychological tool, and it shapes mood and creates focus and decides how we experience a moment, right? Everything is actually connected with colors. Let's start with the most amazing series of colors, and the first thing is primary colors. And I think a lot of people know what primary colors are, but let's go through all these things quickly. I mean, the primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. And these are called primary because you can't make them by mixing any other colors. They are the primary source of colors, but when you start combining them, that's when the magic happens, right? Like red and blue make purple, like red and blue make purple, blue and yellow make green, right? Red and yellow make orange. Everything begins from these three powerful colors, and nothing can make these colors because they are the primary one. They look simple, they look very simple, but these three are the parents of every color you have ever seen. Mix them and you create the entire color world. And that's why we call them primary colors. But let's quickly go through all these things. Okay, now the second one is the secondary colors. And now we have secondary colors. Okay, now these are actually also very important. Now that we have known our primary colors, secondary colors are actually colors you can get by mixing primary colors. Okay, and they are made by mixing two primary colors in equal parts. Okay, so basically, primary colors are the parents, And secondary colors are the creative little kids. Think of them as the next generation of colors because they born from a union of primary, or they help fill the spaces of the color wheel and make our world look richer, deeper, and more exciting. Right? I mean, secondary colors are literally everywhere you look. Third, we have like tertiary colors. We already know our primary colors, red, blue, and yellow. We already know our secondary colors, that is orange, green, and purple. But guess what? Color story doesn't stop there, because when a primary and secondary color mix together, we get something even cooler, tertiary colors. When yellow and orange mix, we get yellow green, that bright, fresh, So these six colors are called tertiary colors, and they are the mix between the main colors and the secondary ones. And they help fill every gap on the color wheel. That's why the color wheel looks so beautiful and complete, because every color has its own family connections. So these are actually a very, very simple definition of primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Complementary colors. Complementary colors are actually opposite on the color wheel. They are actually completely opposite on the color wheel, but that's what makes them so powerful together, right? When we combine two opposite colors together, can actually make a very, very good color palette. People also experiment a lot with their clothes as well. We see that people wear clothes with opposite colors, right? So that's something we call complementary colors, and they make each other look brighter and more vibrant, right? For example, red and green, blue and orange, right? Yellow and purple. Amazing colors, amazing colors. And designers use these complementary colors to grab attention. You have seen that on so many sites, and I'm actually going to show you the sites which has these kind of colors. They have used this kind of colors like in logos, posters, and even in movie scenes. And it's all about balance between, contrast and harmony. Let me explain this to you with a live example. So this is the site we have, and they have used complementary color theme. Such a colorful website. Okay. You can see that it's actually giving such an amazing texture. The combination is so good that you want to keep scrolling and see what's there on the website, because wow. Can you see that? This is actually one example, and I also have another example of this. This is the imposter framer, and they have also used complementary colors on this website. As you can see that. Can you see this image of a guy? Like the entire image is blue, but his hair, his face is highlighted with yellow. And that's why it's looking so good. This is actually a complementary color, completely opposite, and they matches so well with each other, and it can actually grab attention. And these colors are actually very powerful as well, and people use it all over the world. That's the power of complementary colors. Opposite colors attracts and gives a really, really good theme on image or poster on a website or anything. Let's jump into monochromatic colors. Now, these colors come from one base color only, right? But with different shades, tints, and tones of it. For example, if you start with blue, you can make light blue, sky blue, or navy blue, all still blue. Okay, it's like a different shade, different tints and tones of one particular color. Now, it's simple and clean color scheme that looks calm and balanced and super pleasing to the eyes for sure. And, designers love using monochromatic palettes because they create harmony without feeling boring. So just one color and many moods. And let me show you that with the live example they have used and these kind of sites. So can you see this site? This is a bypj.com. They took only one color with different shades. That is what monochromatic colors are, right? The CTA is also in the same. They have also used same color on the CTAs as well. There is not even different color I can see apart from the white color for sure. But they have used different tints of red color for sure, right? I mean, it's such an amazing website. Nice site. Nice site. So these are actually the examples of monochromatic colors, and they also do wonders on design. Let's jump into analogous colors. The colors are actually standing together in the color wheel. They sit right next to each other and blend beautifully, right? These colors look naturally pleasing because our eyes see them as the part of the same family. Use analogous colors to create smooth, relaxing looks. Perfect for nature scenes and gradients and calm designs. Okay. Well, this is actually a very, very simple definition of analogous colors. Colors who are actually standing with each other. You can use this for posters, for banners. People use it for posters, banners, and I'm not sure about the website. By analogous colors, you can actually create a very, very vibrant color theme or color palette. Let's jump into another color, that is a triadic colors. Okay. Now, triadic colors are made by, choosing three colors that are evenly spaced on the wheel, like forming a perfect triangle. For example, red, blue, and yellow are classic triadic combos. And if I show you an example of triadic colors, this is the poster. This is actually Aladdin poster, and you can see that they have used yellow, purple, and green. Okay, there is a very, very good color mixture in this poster. They have used yellow wisely, purple on the curtains, the green on mostly on the clothes. So these kind of colors do really well with banners, posters, and everything. Triadic color schemes are actually very bright, balanced, and full of life. They give very strong contrast, but still look harmonious when you use them. So there is no harm in that. Designers often pick one main color and use the other two for accents. The main focus is actually the yellow one. The two colors are actually just flying here and there, but actually make a really, really good combination. So it looks amazing and pleasing on the eyes. That's the secret to keeping it bold and not chaotic, for sure, right? If we go to the next one is tetradic colors. Four colors, that form a rectangle on the color wheel. So it's like this. Basically, two pairs of complementary colors working together, right? But to make it look good, you have to balance them properly. You cannot use them like blindly. Just balance the colors properly. Let one color lead and use the other colors for the support. That's the best way you can use these kind of colors. Love tetradic schemes because they are bold and they are colorful, perfect when you want energy and excitement in your design. For example, if I show you the example of this poster, this is a Guardian of Galaxy poster, and as you can see that they have used tetradic colors in this one, four colors which are opposite. You can see them how beautifully they have blended these colors in this poster. It's not looking bad at all because they have used it very well. The main focus I can see is the blue, and the other colors are just there to complement the poster and bring out the best vibe out of the poster. That's how powerful colors are. Now let's understand shades, tints, and tones. Okay, these three comes from the same color. When we add black to a color, it becomes shade, a darker. More a particular color gets darker, it's a shade. And when we add a white, it becomes a tint. Tint is more like your particular color is getting lighter in a shade. That's a tint. And when we add gray, it becomes a tone, right? Softer and muted. One color can look bold, soft, or pastel just by changing black, white, and gray. It's actually a theory of colors, and that's how people use this kind of colors. A lot of people just randomly start making color palettes, and that's not how it works. Color palettes have been created by using these kind of system, and these kind of system are there from like years and years. And this is actually a very simple example of shade, tint, and tones. Now, if we jump into hue, saturation, and luminance, okay, every color you see has three main properties. Okay, hue is the actual color itself, like red, blue, green, yellow. And saturation is how pure or intense that color is. Okay, like more saturation, the color gets more vibrant. Less saturation, more faded or dull color. The luminance is how bright or dark that color appears. So these three together to decide how the same color can look bold, soft, bright, and dark. Not only designers, but also people who are working in different field, they also have to be very careful with colors as well, because all these things are important to understand. let's jump into color effect. Now, colors don't just decorate a screen, first of all, they actually control how we feel, where we look, and what we decide. Color effect means how colors influence emotions and actions for sure. Color effect is not just design, it's actually a history. If I have to explain this to you with a very, very simple example, for example, Egyptian blue, right? As you can see that on the slide, this was the world's first synthetic pigment created by Egyptians, okay? Egyptians around 2500 BC, and they believed blue represents the sky, the universe, and protection of gods. Blue was used to paint gods, temples, and a lot of objects as well. Now, look how this same psychology still exists today. Blue is the most trusted color in modern UI. Finance apps, tech brands, social platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. all use blue because human brain still reads blue as trustworthy color. So color effect is a very, very powerful because even though thousands of years later, one pigment still controls how we judge digital screens. Now, what are the meanings of colors? Now, every color has a meaning. Every color communicates a feeling before a user even reads a single word. Like, for example, red is a color of urgency, passion, and instant attention, right? It forces the eye to look immediately. Okay, what happens? Like emergency icons like stop signs or YouTube notifications or anything. Brands use color very carefully. It's actually going to represent their whole brand. So they choose the shade very, very carefully, and that's how it is, right? Like white gives a peace and clarity. Like most UI uses white as a base color because users instantly feel clean structure. Can you see how it affects the psychology? This is how every color has a story, right? Every color has a purpose. When designers choose a color, they are not choosing for beauty, they are choosing for emotions and behavior. Now, if I talk about color effect in design, I want to explain this with a very, very simple example how colors can actually ruin UI. This is the app. Okay, as you can see, the colors on this app vibrant blue and red. Okay, I cannot understand what this app is for, first of all, because of course I can see the pizza images on this, but still it's not clear, right? And the buttons are blue, the cards are blue, the buttons are not good, everything is fighting for attention at the same time. Now, what happens? Your brain gets visually overloaded when you see this kind of screens, right? You don't know which action is important, which button to click, where to focus. This is called bad color UI. When colors are not balanced, when contrast is not controlled, when meaning is not consistent, users feel confused, anxious, and irritated because it's not good for the eyes, for the psychology, and they are not able to understand what exactly app is all about. Color effect is very, very powerful. It's extremely powerful, and if you use it wrong, it destroys the experience. No matter how good your UX is, if your colors are not good, nobody will use your apps or website or anything you make. That's how powerful colors are. And the same screen, if I show you the same screen with good colors, right? Now, as you can see that on the screen, your eyes automatically knows which button is important without even thinking. Color is guiding your eyes and not distracting them, right? It is telling your brain exactly what is important, what is actually important, and it is building trust, clarity, and flow. When you use color correctly, you don't even notice the colors. You start using things and you are just out of that and you start minding your business. Your task is done, everything is done, and everyone is happy. Everyone is happy because of right colors. And like it shapes emotions, drive behavior, and define experience. When you choose colors with intentions, your design stops being just visual. It becomes impactful. Anything can become impactful by using a right color. And everything can just go to trash by using a wrong color. Imagine you go and watch a painting. What is painting all about? What is painting all about? Colors, right? The kind of colors they use in the painting, and you feel like, wow, I want to buy this painting and I want to put that in my house because The colors are amazing. And then comes the shape and theory and the message, right? Every single thing is a design and there is a color for everything, right? And what kind of a color you want to choose, that is very, very powerful thing you can think about. And once you choose it, and make sure that it has impact. So I hope you like this video and I hope you have learned something from this video, because yes, colors are very, very powerful. And yes, it is very important to understand and learn and get into this theory, because without colors, nothing can actually have impact and nothing can actually become remarkable without colors. I hope you like this video. So don't forget to take care of yourself, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.